stop doom scrolling and potentially start that business that's been in your head sitting there and you're just not doing anything about it. So do something right now. Stop and watch this video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Starting a business from scratch, where to begin. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks in regards to that. Guys, if you are in that realm where you want to do something, you want to start something, my first thing is seek counsel from the one above. If you haven't seen this video, go back to it and watch it. I want you to start there before you get to this video. But again, guys, as you know, I like to do things sweet, short, and spicy. I'm not going to take too much of your time because I know you're busy. So here we go. So let's get into the first and foremost thing. Again, before you start anything, just make sure you're seeking counsel from the one above. You do not want to be in a position where you start something and you decide to end it in the middle and you don't get to the end and you've invested and blah, 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 blah. So seek the advice of the one above. Let him be the CEO. Let him be in the driving seat of any decision that you make and then go from there. What I will say is, into my other step, will be that you need to do a lot of research. You need to do a lot of research. And for me, when I started my business a couple years ago, I did a lot of research. I dedicated time to that. And again, how much time you dedicate to that is up to you. But for me, what I would do is after my 9 to 5, I would come home and I would spend 2 hours specifically researching like different things, right? So the first thing would be, okay, like the products in itself. You know, the second thing that I would be researching is like other people in their company, how they're driving their business with that product. The third thing would be vendors, like, and so forth. So you want to dedicate time to doing research. And where do you do research? There's so much information online. The web is at your fingertips. Before, you know, back in the day, you would, for a lot of skill sets, you would have to go to classes and courses, but the world has changed, right? Everything that you need is literally at your fingertips. And so you have no excuse to go out there and to learn. And there's people willing to give free advice, free lessons, use YouTube, Instagram, people who provide courses or whatever the case might be. But the information is out there for you to obtain. So go and obtain it, right? But I would say dedicate a period of time where you literally spend an hour, where you would watch Netflix video, where you would doom scroll, and spend time building yourself, spend time learning a skill set, spend time investing in yourself, which is essentially the betterment for your future. What I would suggest for people is for you to do a timestamp of like where you see yourself being within the next year, or okay, let me rephrase that. I would set a time frame for yourself in regards to when you want to start your business. So for me, I basically gave myself a year, and after the year, that's when I decided that I wanted to launch my business. Again, this could be shorter for other people. You can make it 6 months, 3 months, depending, right? But that's for you to determine. For me, I think it's essential for you to do basically like a year-long time stamp of exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve, right? And for me, what I did was I literally said, okay, I'm going to take a year to practically do everything, and after a year I wanted to launch. So within those time frames, again, my thing was I had to research the products and all of that. Like I had to set up like the Instagram, the different handles that I needed in order to build that business, right? So you want to do timestamps of everything so that you know, in this first month I'm doing research. The second month I am testing out products. The third month I am figuring out how to start a website. The fourth month, so timestamps in regards to that. So it becomes a lot easier for you and you're not super stressing yourself. Again, it took me a year to do it because I really wanted to just be in alignment. I really wanted to dedicate the time to it in different aspects and take longer for different things. I was doing hair. So again, for me, I wanted to make sure that I had the ability to test products, and that took a longer period of time that other product-based companies wouldn't need that much time. So again, timestamp out start from figuring out when you want to launch and then work from there in regards to the time period of what you're potentially going to need for your business. Again, I think that is crucial. This is going to essentially keep you on track and keep you on basically a schedule, right? Again, put in some leeway for days where you're just like, I'm just not in for it. But again, I would dedicate, Monday to Friday, and an hour or 2 hours after your work, your 9 to 5, and dedicate that to really putting something valuable into your business, you know, whether it's learning, whatever the case might be, but dedicating time weekly and making a schedule for that, and a plan of action for that for whatever period of time, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or a year, to get yourself started. Your best friend during this season of really starting up is going to be, you need a calendar and a notepad, literally your best friend. Again, if you have your iPad, whatever the case might be, but I'm a person that likes to write things down and likes to see a visual. So get yourself like a huge calendar, get yourself a notebook, and start with that. Start mapping out your time frames, mapping out the launch date, and working backwards in that regards, in regards to setting a foundation and specific time frames in regards to like every day, what are you doing today, what are you doing tomorrow, like mapping out exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. Write it all down so that it gives you the accountability, and you're able to then see the journey of the transformation and what you've built within that specific time frame. And it's kind of like a nice thing to look back at and to see like, wow, like I did all that, like I've accomplished all that. So again, instead of you doom scrolling, spend the time to develop yourself, spend the time to build you, and spend the time to eventually to achieve more for yourself. Last but definitely not the least is do something every day that is going to better your life and yourself. And again, just every day spend an hour in regards to developing, you know, your ideas, whether it's researching the product, whatever it is, just spend an hour every single day and doing something that's going to put you one step ahead than you were the day before, right? So take the time and spend a time each day and do something that's going to propel you forward. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm doing a business series, so I have tons of other videos in regards to how to start a business. Make sure you go and check it out. Again, drop any comments down below of things that you might want to hear or might want to have me talk about. But again, thank you so much for joining me. Have yourself an amazing day, and again, do something that's going to propel you forward. Bye, guys.